You know, the song "Here We Go Again on My Own" keeps popping up in my mind. You know that 80s song? It when I start getting information out, you think there's going to be a little bit here and a little bit there. Yet at this point, the road signs are popping up literally left and right, left and right, left and right. It's constant. The warnings, the ridiculousness, all that's going on. And yet, again, buckle up between now and the date in November that we really don't think is going to actually happen. It's going to be a rocky road. So there was a post that came up right, when you open up your main site. I'll do this right here. Here we go. You get these feeder stories, and even if you block it and turn it off, they do a reset and it ends up back on the screen anyways. But you notice that these are all advertisements. Now, some might be products, some might be services, some might be, but it's all propaganda. There's nothing here ever that is helpful or useful. It's just opinions being shown as news, and and it's just insane to me that this is what we have as far as our quote unquote news feed, because it is not. So there was an article that came up this morning that I want to discuss a little bit as far as the fact checkers. But first of all, I want to take us to Washington Examiner. This is a follow-up from the earlier recording. This was an hour ago. Californians asked to keep AC at 78. That's almost 80 degrees. And hey, by the way, if you have an electric vehicle, hope you already charged it. And that tether, that some of them go 93 miles, some go 200 miles, some do a little bit more than that. But if it's already charged, that's as far as you're going. And and here we've got NWS San Diego saying an impactful long duration heat wave is expected from the beaches to the desert through Labor Day. Wait a minute. Today is Tuesday. So you're not supposed to charge your car at all between now and next week. And by the way, this is a Labor Day weekend for you to spend with your friends and family. And don't go anywhere because you don't have any electricity for your car. That's a how do just insane to me, absolute insanity. High to very high heat risk will impact the coast and valleys by Sunday and Monday. Plan ahead so you can stay cool and hydrated, especially if you have outdoor plans. Does anybody think this through? All right. Well, I want to go back to another story. There was one here in Raw News, and I had to look it up, see what it is, but it comes up often on that news feed that I show you. You know, it pops up in here, and it's Raw stories and not news, right? And there was one that about this person here telling others not to get involved because it could be bad for them. The situation is worse than he would attain, telling people everything that he's done wrong. It was one absolute lie after another. And at least they're calling it a story, not raw news. These are just stories. They're making up stories. And you can scan through here and see some of these others. Peter Doocy. Wait a minute. Who's Steve Doocy? Cuts through GOP clutter. Why did we have all that secret stuff at this place? Is there a relation there? Are they tying and bringing that out now? And again, I will remind you that something may be classified for that period of time. Once that event is over, it can safely be classified because the event is done. Let's say there's I don't know, a public event where the president is going to be. Well, then the route might be top secret or even classified. But after there's hundreds of people that are standing there watching and millions of people on TV that see where this happens, that it's been presented, it's done and over, a few weeks, months, or years past, it can safely be unclassified. And the one and only person who can unilaterally make that decision happens to be the person right here. So even if the items were marked secret, top secret, or classified, does not mean that today they actually are. And with all the leaks that we've seen, I think we would have been told if they actually found something beyond the lies that are coming out of this. But this is another one. We know that they are absolute lies. Absolute lies. Every story on here. How about this one? Well, we found out about them as well. And how do we know all of this? Not only because we're bright, intelligent individuals, because Facebook admitted in court filings its fact checkers are merely opinion. They're just making up stories. They're making up propaganda to sway you in one direction or another. Now, I think this is really interesting as I put in the word propaganda 101. Do you remember when we were in high school, there was a class that went over critical thinking? And one of the segments we looked at was marketing and propaganda. You know, tie it to a famous athlete, tie it to an actor, a musician, something fun, it's exciting. If they do it, you can do it. You can look like this. You can be like this. Cigarettes are the prime example there. What about Pepsi tying to Michael Jackson? You know, we see this over and over again, the mass manipulation that occurs. There's quite a few case studies and introductions. There's overviews, but unfortunately, most of this has even been shifted. The dictionary definition has shifted as to what it means. So I just want you to all be very, very careful as we're looking at stories and sources. These are stories. These are not the news. The evening news isn't even the news anymore. How are you thinking a site that calls itself Stories or this one that was debunked a long time ago? And then, of course, opinions. This is all it is. They're making up their own story. Be aware, don't get caught in the propaganda. We're going to really buckle up, settle in, and literally pray between now and November, as everything that we know that is true will be slandered, evil is right, and good is said to be evil. Really keep your eyes open. And if you've got an electric car, hope you have a backup. Once again, Pink Lou coming out with the truth.